Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to continue reading our story. The Fox in the Dandelion Sea, part 9. The foxes are clever animals, clever and cunning. The little fox learned very quickly and could sometimes even ask questions that would stump me. For human speech is complicated and intricate, nothing like the innocence of animal speech. Sometimes language is like a yarn ball caught in the paws of a cat. It catches here and there, and there again it catches a student's tongue, sometimes even tripping a teacher up. But foxes are clever animals, and very quickly they learn the many intricacies of human speech that were handed down over the generations, becoming able to describe the way dandelions float away or how the moonlight shines over the lake in a rudimentary manner. Every time the little fox discovered a new term, every time he tried using unfamiliar words to explore a familiar world, to bestow meanings upon the wind, dandelions, and the earth, she would be beside me, smiling, watching us. The little fox learned very quickly, but I did not take much joy from that. When I had run out of things to teach, would she still keep me here in this dandelion sea? When that time came, would I still be able to behold those beautiful eyes under the moonlight? Would she still lead me into the depths of the Dandelion Sea, smiling slyly as we frolicked and breathed in the bitter fragrance that came from both the north and the south winds? As I thought about such things, I became lost in sullen memory. Ah, yes, that's right. On that night, I could no longer remember clearly. When I was about to part with the girl I loved, this same moon had hung in the sky as well. Thank you for everything up to now. Before I knew it, the fox had walked in front of me. She bowed and her hair spilled over her shoulders, flowing like water in the glimmering moonlight. Once he has learned human speech, he should be able to make more new friends. I am truly thankful to you for all you have done. He has always cheered up significantly since beginning to learn the human language. She gazed at me, her deep, unfathomable eyes shining like jewels. Still, once you have finished teaching us the human language, where will you go then? Enraptured by those shining eyes, I forgot to reply. Was this fox magic, too? Seeing my wooden expression, the fox laughed and sighed. Then she turned and began walking in the direction of the moon, leading me further into the center of the moonlit Dandelion Sea. Seeing this, the little fox swished its tail from side to side and burrowed into the dandelion fields. Let's continue volume 10. We are close to the end. Volume 10. The little fox kept waving back to us as he walked. His figure grew smaller and smaller until it became a tiny white spot, which blended into the dandelion sea and slowly faded away. After he had gone, the mother fox turned and walked over me. The closer she drew, the greater in stature she became. By the time she stood before me, she had transformed into a human. She was a tall and slender woman with a swan-like neck and pearly skin. Her eyes sparkled like gemstone fragments in pools of water. In the darkness, they seemed to shine like rays of sunlight on water after filtering through the treetops. Ah, it's very descriptive. Very long descriptions. What a beauty what a beauty. She looks a lot like the girl I fell in love with long ago, though I barely remember her name. Those eyes tell me she must be her, I thought to myself. For all the magic and transformation I had witnessed, still nothing amazed me quite as much as the gemstone lakes of her eyes. For a while we stood silently in the boundless Dandelion Sea. I felt like I have read this before. Very familiar passage. Um, at last I could no longer contain myself and opened my mouth. Is this the magic you wanted to teach me? The magic of transformation? It is. I am most grateful to you for all your help over the long period. She bowed to me, her long silky black hair flowing down her shoulders like streams. Although saying farewell to the little fox left emptiness in my heart, I soon became exhilarated at the thought of transformation magic that I was about to learn. Could I transform into a flying bird once I mastered the magic? How high would I be able to fly? Maybe I could transform into a fish and finally have the chance to go to Musk Reef. I could even use magic to hunt. I couldn't contain my excitement. No more meatless carrot stews for me. Then I shall ask you to stand still. She walked circles around me, her stature growing with every pass. No, not just her. The dandelions were also growing in size. They had only been at my ankles when she started, but now stretches to over my waist, growing as if turning into towering trees. It was only when I started to feel strange that I realized that the fox had become a giant. Ah, a giant fox lady. Beautiful. Yes, so I will continue. This is the last part, volume 11. Yeah, this is it. I started to feel strange, and then I noticed I had turned into a dandelion. A dandelion. Even if I wanted to protest, the dandelion had no mouth nor tongue for me to make a sound. All I could do was watch helplessly as the giant gently picked the dandelion plant from the ground and held it between her thumb and index finger. Dandelion, dandelion, ride the wind to a far away land. The fox chanted, and then with a puff, the dandelion seeds began to dance in the air. I was caught in a storm and whisked away to a distant sky. The swirling made my head dizzy. Those eyes that glistened like gemstones in the lake had left me, along with my consciousness and the promise she had made. Oh, Anemo Akan, I beg you to turn us into humans, for only then can we be safe from the hunting bows and knives. When I awoke, I found myself in the woods behind my village. The woods were full of lush trees, and at the center of the woods was a small lake. The lake was like the stained glass windows of Mondstadt Cathedral, crystal clear and shimmering in the sunlight. The sun shone through the treetops and glistening on the water's surface like fragments of gemstones. It was really something. The weather was cool that day. I was hunting in the forest when I arrived at the lake's edge. The shimmering water somehow reminded me of a girl I loved a long time ago. I couldn't remember much about her, but felt that her eyes must have looked like the lake, glittering as if harboring fragments of gemstones within. Hmm, I must have lost myself in thought that day, drifting off into sleep as I watched the sparkling lake. Now, our hunter has no recollection of the fox, the beautiful fox lady, and the cute little baby fox. He taught them human language. That is sad. I kind of hope that they will truly become friends. And yeah, this is really the end, right? Let me scroll. Yeah, this is really the end. I enjoyed it. I do love a foxtail, the foxes in the woods. Yeah, so this is it. I hope you enjoyed the story, and thanks for watching. Bye.